ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad, and we have studied the 24th and the 25th shloka in great detail. And I insisted to be very repetitive because these two shlokas are the basic concept of how to pursue your meditative life in a spiritual manner. That is the crux of the whole thing. We must learn without any ambiguity, without any hesitation or doubt. We must learn what is the procedure that we have to find to reach that desired goal. What is that desired goal? In the first step, we discipline ourselves, we control the external movement of our mind, we hold our mind to the form of the divine, well within our heart through a sharp sense of imagination. And along with it, we feel the presence of the divine within ourselves. How do we equate that? We connect it by thinking, I am aware I am. That awareness of my amness is nothing but the awareness of the presence of the divine in me. That presence is in me and I am in him. I have no separate existence from him. And meditating on this, we totally saturate ourselves with the concept of the Parameshwara, the divine, the Ishvara, and the first step is we merge in him, with him. That is known as Savikalpa Samadhi. That is a samadhi, a total concentration when my whole personality, my being, is saturated by the awareness of presence of the divine in me. I do not exist. I have merged with him. This is the first stage. The next stage is that I go beyond that, and I go beyond the name, form, qualities, and everything, and I merge with the Absolute. Irretrievably. We cannot retrieve myself back again. I have merged with it. Just like rivers, when they go and flow into the sea, the mass of water is not retrievable. It has merged with ocean. That is the last stage. Now, dear, as I have told you, we have the capacity to meditate. What is that? To hold the thought processes which flows momentarily. Every moment a thought comes up, and I hold my mind on the same thought repeated momentarily, and it becomes a long chain. Nirabachinna Taila Dharabat. What does it mean? As you pour oil from a bigger can to a smaller day-to-day use can, you see the flow of oil starts from the bigger one, falls into the smaller one, and it is uninterrupted. One line of flow. Similarly, Nirabachinna, without any interruption, without any deviation, without any non-intended thought coming in, I keep on thinking of the divine, and I divinize myself. That is what is your meditative practice, dhyana yoga. But you have to live in this world. Do you mean to say you put the bars on, close the door, and you lead a different life? Then you will never be able to reach the goal. That flow of thought, awareness of presence of the divine, either by form or by presence or by identifying himself with me, whatever that may be, that identifying yourself with the divine must continue without any let, hindrance, break, interruption throughout your life. Thereby, you are saturating yourself with the awareness of presence of God. So the teachers say that type of meditation is an orthodox way of meditating. I will teach you another way of meditation, where you live and move and have your being in this world, in this eternal diversity, but you will remain focused in the awareness of the divine everywhere. You see the divine everywhere. And as it is said in the Holy Book, the Bible, learn and educate yourself. Learn to educate yourself so that you see his hand working everywhere, you see his smile everywhere, and you feel his presence everywhere all the time. That is the essence of continuing flow of meditation, whether in an orthodox manner, dhyana yoga or karma yoga. At that time, when this Upanishad was written down or recited, the society had his strong points. So the teacher gave examples and ideas which are based on imagination, which was very prevalent in that time. Few thousand years have passed, and today you are being exposed to the study of the Upanishad. So be prepared. The metaphors, the similes, the examples, the imaginative ideas that are going to be read now, they are totally different from our world as of today. It is difference in appearance. Attitudinally, it is the same. What is the attitude? Attitude is, I keep an equation, a connection, a link with the presence of the divine. So, in Karma Yoga, what is being said? Please do not think of yourself. Please do not think of any return of your virtuous activities. You be a pursuer of perfection, pursuer of excellence, thoroughness, correctness, precision. Do it thoroughly, correctly, precisely, perfectly, excellently. There is your involvement. And thereafter, you offer to your God, Sir, all the faculties that you have given to me, I have gathered them together, accumulated them together, and I give of my very best to perform the duties of my life. I want nothing in return. Please accept it. Your acceptance is my return. I know nothing. What are you doing? In the process of performing, you are disciplining yourself, pursuer of correctness, pursuer of precision, pursuer of thoroughness, pursuer of perfection, pursuer of excellence. Why are you doing so? Because I'm going to give it to my beloved God. There's no compromise. That is Karma Yoga. So what is happening? You are in communion with God, but in a different manner. Living in this world, interacting with your body-mind complex, with your faculties. You are interacting with the world. But you are linked up, tied up, latched to, hooked up with God. God is present in that orthodox meditative manner and this new modern meditative manner. And this is what precisely is a modern version of Karma Yoga as we find in the Bhagavad Gita and in the parts of the Upanishad also. Anyway, now we are going to read and we will try to understand what is the simile, what is the metaphor, what is the stretch of imagination by means of which I see God everywhere. Let us read now. This is the introduction. Etasmat jayate prana mana sarva indriyani cha kham vayu jyotir apa prithvi vishwasya dharini. That is the shloka. Etasmat jayate. From what? In the previous shloka, you have heard Aksharat Paratah Paraha. The absolute from which the world comes out and the absolute beyond phenomenon. From that, all that you see in this world, which is relevant to our life and our lifestyle, has come out of it. Jayate has manifested out of it. Good enough. You say in one breath, it is absolute immutable. And in next breath you say, it comes out of it. Isn't it a contradiction in terms, contradiction in ideas? So we must try to find out, when I go to the word-to-word meaning, Aksharat Paratah Para, it is the absolute test of the absolute. From that, all this world has come up. How can absolute be phenomenal? How can absolute, which is immutable, can be mutated into diversity? How can? So the word jayate must have a special connotation as intended by the author. The dictionary meaning doesn't fit in. It is not relevant. It is rather contradictory. Therefore, I would like to know what is this concept of jayate is. Now, previously, he has given you several examples. One example is a spider, spins its thread, absorbs it, respins it, and then makes a beautiful web. An architect will wonder how it could do so. Spider's web, the herbs and etc. that comes out of the earth goes back to the earth, and nail and hair coming out of human body, and it is thrown out. And finally, he has given you the concept of a rope, and we make many mistakes on that rope. All these are available to you. What type of manifestation comes out of the Absolute? The manifestation is an error of judgment. That is the manifestation. Verily, the whole world, the whole cosmos, the whole earth, Mother Earth, is nothing else but the divine, embodied in diverse things. Now, let us see. The web of a spider comes out of the spider, and when the spider wills it, it withdraws it. The concept of Maya on rhythm. I gave you an example of the potter's various utensils the other day. That clay is the reality behind diverse forms of earthenwares. You break everything, earth remains, clay remains. That is not a thing. You can grind it, but it is ground clay. Clay remains, but the name and form and etc. has disappeared. As I told you, just to convince you that you can reach that state. What is that state? When you will merge with that absolute and you will experience your true original nature. You will experience. Then the diversity doesn't exist. Therefore, we have a concept of Parama Ishvara, the supreme sublime being known as Ishvara, Parameshvara. And Maya is a creative energy which hibernates in Parameshvara. It is kinetized, it is activated by Parameshvara's will. And that Maya is from the subtlest of the subtle to the grossest of the gross by a method of infinite permutation combination of 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Shiti, Up, Tej, Marut, Bo. infinite permutation and combination of these five, known as Panchikarana. The formula is mentioned in the scriptures. I will not bother you with that today. Only remember, these five undergoes infinite permutation, combination, and the subtlest of the subtle is Akasha, the concept of ether, and grossest of the gross is a piece of granite stone. But isness is always there. Isness is everywhere. That isness is eternal, and the rest is anritam mithya. Satyam trikala abhadita satyam jnanam satyam and bacharam mano vikaranavadeyam anritam mrittika iti eva satyam. I'll explain to you, dear, these are the quotes. You know, I will justify myself. Please pardon me. When I quote these words, for heaven's sake, don't think I'm showing off. I want to impress upon you, I try to translate honestly what is mentioned in the scriptures. Don't think what I say in English is my woolly-headed ideas. They are fully supported by statements of the scriptures. What is it? We have discussed many a times. That which is ever existing, which does not mutate from the past to the present to the future, it remains the same, is a reality, is truth. Trikala abhadita, three phases of time, which does not contradict with each other. Past, it remains past. I was, I am, I will be. It was never I was not. It is not I am not. It will never be I will be not. I am eternal. That is what Son of God said in the Bible. Atmavastu Satchidananda Nitya Suddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavavan. He had said for people to understand, hear the scriptures, analyze it threadbare. So the intellectuals don't say, my intellectual questioning is not satisfied. They will understand that intellect will not be able to take me there. To make them understand, it is an intellectual gymnastic. Intellectual gymnastic will not lead you there. So, dear, what type of jayate, what type of manifestation it is? Two types apply very well in totality. The Urnanabhi. Urnanabhi can be compared to Parameshwara. He does not need anybody's help. He is intellectual, he is intelligent, he has means to do, and he has material in himself known as Maya, Anritam. That is, Bacharam Mano Vikaranavadeyam Anitam. Whatever is expressed in words, whatever is created, whatever has a name and a form and etc., they all perish in time. That is why they appear to be real, but they are not real. Na ritam anritam. That which is not ritam means eternal is anritam. Satyam, Ritam, Asatyam, Anitam. Now this world, it disappears in Shushupti. The other day I explained to you. It disappears in Shushupti, dreamless sleep. And it disappears in Samadhi. So a human being experiences the absence of the existence of the universe in Shushupti and in Samadhi. Trikala avadhita jnanam satyam and vacharambham vikaranavadeyam anritam. So it disappears. So it is created in time, it stays in time, it disappears in time. What is that? This world of ours, when I am totally enveloped with ignorance, I go to Shushupti. I go to Shushupti as a knowing fool, I come back as a fool. No enlightenment. But when I go to Samadhi not knowing, and I know, and I come out as a saint. I've known the reality behind this apparent world. Here, Jayate means we create it by our own faculties. Shushupte pralaya darshanam. When I go to sleep, deep, dreamless sleep, nothing exists. When I wake up, my first reaction is Sukhamaham kinchit avedisham. I slept like a log and I enjoyed myself. I was absolute peace with myself. I knew nothing. The world did not exist. And in Samadhi, I willfully negate. I am not this. I have been identifying myself with what I am not. I say my body, but I behave as if I am this body, mind complex. I keep on my inner journey going. And ultimately, I come to know who am I, what am I. The whole world disappears. I experience the eternal reality, but as there are no adjuncts, I can't describe it, I can experience it. It is experienceable, not describable. What about something in between? And that in between is explained by the word Maya. Maya. It appears to be as what it is not. The world appears to be real, non-perishable, but it is not real, it is perishable. Who creates that? Parama who is the Lord of Maya Shakti, with his order, Maya creates all these things. And when God says, withdraw from him, he is near to me, it is withdrawn. And I know my true original nature. Nothing happens without his will. Even my mukti bhakti depends on his will. He asks Maya to withdraw her influence on me. I will be mukta, not you. You have to work out your own destiny. You have to work out your own destiny. I have to work out my own destiny. So 2 examples, dear, to understand the word Jayate. It comes out of it. 2 words you must remember. 2 examples you must remember. One is the spider and the other is the rope. Spider is a material example. And the rope is an example in the domain of ideas, subtler. That is why the rope is more befitting as an example for this purpose. Let me repeat, please. I see a rope at a time. I see it. I see it second time and I know it is a rope. The question of making a mistake does not arise. But now the rope is the basis of further ideas, creation. This is the example. At a dusk time, or I am a bit absent-minded, I see something similar to the form of a snake. Similar to the form of a snake, a passing view. Or it is dusk, semi-darkness, I don't see it proper. What happens, dear? My instinct of self-preservation, not to die, to remain alive, I, instead of waiting, seeing again to find out in reality what it is, I don't do that. I hurriedly conclude, because of law of association, sadrishya vashat, because of the proximity of sameness. The shape and form is almost the same with a snake. I keep on howling and shouting for my life. Oh, help me, it's a snake, a snake, a snake. I have created a snake because of my not knowing the true nature of the object. It is a rope. It was a rope. It is a rope when I'm seeing a snake, and it will be proved to be a rope when people come and kill it. It doesn't die, it doesn't have any reflex. It looks again. I look again. I say, oh, what a shame. What a stupid ass I am. I created a snake out of the rope. But the snake has been created by my ignorance of rope, and my heart jumps to my throat. I perspire, I howl, I shout. All my behavior pattern is stimulated by that snake, which is in reality not there. I see it. I have created it. And the whole paraphernalia follows till somebody wants to kill the snake. After 2 or 3 beats, he doesn't find any reflex there, animate reflex. He looks again and he says, it is a rope. As soon as you see it as a rope, where does the snake disappear? It disappears from where it came from. Tasmad jayate, tasmin liyate. That is what applies to Vedanta philosophy. To some extent the Urnanami, and in totality the rope. Now, I am afraid of dying, and because of my sanskara, I saw a snake. Somebody else doesn't see it as a rope. He sees somebody has torn a garland and thrown it there. A torn garland lying on the floor. He sees a garland there. Why does he see a garland? Because he has not seen the rope as a rope. If he had seen the rope as a rope, there was no question of seeing anything else. Ajnana Shakti. That is why, dear, I don't see the divine in this world. I see the diversity. Why? I have not educated myself to look at the world in a correct, proper perspective, or in a correct, proper attitude, or in a correct, proper way of understanding what the world is. So I create this diversity. And where from the diversity comes? Because I have not seen the reality in itself. That gap of my knowledge, I am filling up with Vikshepa Shakti. I am filling up with diversity. A rope appears as a snake. A rope appears as a toad garland. A rope appears as water spread on soil, dark line, or a crack in soil. You can see it in any way you like, according to your samskaras. They come out of it, and when you know its true original nature, they disappear into it, sadrisha, because of the likeness. Etasmat jayate. That is why, dear, this process of coming out of it, and when you know it in its true original nature, it goes into it. Tasmat jayate, tasmin liyate, tat jalam shanta upashate. A person who wants to go there, he worships that Absolute who has taken this diverse form, and it goes back, comes out again, goes back. Tas etasmat jayate. So just don't go by the dictionary meaning, dear, because the dictionary meaning will leave you in confusion. Let me repeat what is the confusion. You say it is absolute, eternal, immutable, infinite. Those are the words that you use. From that, this is born. How can an absolute be born? The absolute remains an absolute. I impose my brainwave onto that absolute. The absolute is absolute all the time. Based on that absolute, I have created this world. So he is telling you the initial mistake, according to Christian Science, is original sin. What was the original sin? Adam did not listen to God's orders, instruction. Don't touch the apple, don't touch it, don't look at it, don't eat it. He was tempted. That was his original sin. That is why he was banished from paradise, and we, his descendants, are banished from paradise. We have to make our way back to the Maker by absolving us from our sins. That's what the Christian sciences say. What does Vedanta say? Vedanta says, dear, you now educate yourself. What is education? You have brought up in certain standards, certain attitudes, certain perspectives, certain understanding. You now educate yourself to correct your attitude. What is that? Let me be very practical. I see this chair. As I am today, the chair is as real as I am. The chair is as real as I am. But I am a student of Vedanta. So I am the absolute. That is, I am eternally am. That is, I am aware of my existence. And I am residing in this body. I am an animate object. I am a most evolved biological creature. That is a matter. There's a distinction between me and that, but not much a distinction between this body and that. This is a matter, that is a matter. I am, amness is subjective. It is, isness is objective. Amness is an awareness of existence. Isness is aware of its existence. So before thinking it is a chair, before making use of it, before appreciating its beauty and all that, why don't I first incur into my brain, register in my brain, it is as I am. The isness is everywhere. Now, this is an education. Nobody ever told you before how to educate yourself, how to change the attitude with which you are used to see things of the world. You are focused, you are registered to see the world on 4 concepts. It has a name, it has a form, it has some qualities, it has a usefulness in the society, utility and value. Nama, Rupa, Guna, qualities, utilitarian value, usefulness to the society is Artha Kriya Karitya. I have been educated that way. Oh, it's a chair. It's real. I am real, it is real. Now you are being told this body, this coat, this glass is as much a matter as that. You reside in this body and you can only explain yourself by saying, I am. That's all you can do. That very statement goes there. It is. What is I am? Awareness of my existence. What is it is? Awareness of its existence. Existence-wise, it's the highest common factor between the two. Why two? Me and the whole world. It is. The world is. The earth is. The cosmos is. I am. Subjective and objective. I am. What does it mean? I am aware. I exist. That is. It is. I am aware. It exists. Awareness of existence is the highest common factor in all things. See how simple it is, and we have never educated ourselves. So, etasmat jayate indirectly means with the type of tertiary education or worldly education that you have, you will not be able to understand this. You have to understand it by an attitudinal correction. Correction of your attitude. And I will tell you a quote from Sri Ramakrishna, that it is absolutely possible. It is real. It happens. What is that? Sri Ramakrishna one day was explaining his various types of experience of the Brahman. He is everywhere. Sat Sarup, Chit Sarup. He is everywhere. So in a very homely word, he used it. I'll have to translate it. I will use the Bengali first, because that is my substratum. He says, Ore, she ki din gache. Oh, I can't explain to you those days of mine. That's how he introduces. Ore, oh, she ki din gache. I can't explain to you those wonderful days of mine. What, sir? What happened? ও যেখানে যেখানে নজর পড়ছে ব্রহ্ম উকি ঝুঁকি মারছেন typical homely colloquial Bengali. I'll understand you, explain it to you. Translation will not explain much. Idiom will explain. You know, when we were children, we used to hide behind a coach or a sofa or a chair or a wardrobe and peep out and say hi and sit. And somebody has to find out where are you. The game was known as a game for a peeping Tom. Peeping Tom. The Tom peeps out and goes back. And you have to find out who is that. Sri Ramakrishna says, oh, what a day I had gone through. Brahman was playing hide and seek with me like a peeping Tom. Wherever I could see Brahman first, then the name and the form and the qualities and the utilitarian. This is what Sri Ramakrishna says. I could feel the existence of Brahman everywhere. It was peeping, playing hide and seek with me, popping up and going down, popping up and going down, hiding himself. Now, in Sri Krishna Charitamrita, Sri Krishna Mahaprabhu, a Dvaitavadi to teach or Dvaitavadi nature, he says, what can I do, my children? I am not in a position to distinguish between a saint and a sinner. Don't tell me that, I can't. Why, sir? What is wrong? He says, Jatra Jatra Netra Pade, wherever my eyes fall, wherever my vision goes, Tatra Tatra Krishna Spure. I don't see the chair, I see Krishna there. He has personified that absolute. That is his Ishta. He has saturated himself to see the form of his Ishta everywhere. And Gaudapada, Acharya Shankara's guru is Govindapada, his guru is Gaudapada. Acharya Shankara's Adi Guru is Gaudapada. In Gaudapada Karika and Mundaka Upanishad, he writes, what is the stage of that realized soul, that Vijnani? What is his experience all the time? He says, Deha Abhimane Galite. There's another Pathantar, another way. Deha Abhimane Galite. Vijnate Paramatmani. Deha Abhimane Galite. Vijnate Paramatmani. The awareness of this body as mine has totally disappeared. And this I-ness, amness, has merged with the Supreme Being, Paramatma. Jivatma has merged with Paramatma. Deha Bhimane Galite, Vijnate Paramatmani, Yatra Jatra Mano Yati. Let your mind roam about. Don't stop it. Let it go from one corner of the world to the other corner of the world. Let it be. Let it roam about. What do I see? Tatra Tatra Param Padam Drishyate. Wherever and wherever my eyes fall, I see that sublime being, the absolute, the Paramatma. So, those two are from scriptures, and the third one is, the first one is from the scriptures, the second one is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement when he says, I see my beloved Krishna everywhere in a form. The form of Krishna on which he performed his sadhana. And Sri Ramakrishna says, Brahma uki jhuki bachan. Brahman is playing the game of a peeping Tom and hide and seek with me. That is what will happen. So, dears, Jayate means it comes out of it. How does it come out of it? Parameshwara, with his help of Maya Shakti, creates this world. But Tat Srishtva, having created it, Tadeva Anupravishat. He created it and he saturated it by his own being. Tatcha Satcha Bhavet. Niruktam cha, niruktam cha. It goes on. But Tat Srishtva, Tat Eva Anupravishat. That means that Holy Ghost, that Spirit, that Atman, Brahman, Shunyam, call it by any name, we don't bother. That eternal absolute is everywhere. There's not a speck of space, not an iota of time where he is not. We re-educate ourselves to see with our wide open eyes. The isness is paramount. Isness of the divine. Satta, Chetana and Anand. Satchidananda Swarup Atma. So dears, enough is enough. Let us stop here now. I've been spending probably 3 sessions on this. Now, he says, from the grossest to the subtlest, that is, come Akasha and Prithvi granite. Grossest of the gross, subtlest of the subtle, that is the ether, conceptually the subtlest. They are nothing else but an infinite permutation combination of these Pancha Mahabhuta, Khiti, Op, Tej, Varun, Bhau, earth, water, fire, air, ether. All of them are together, but the permutation combination, 99% of Khiti, earth, is grossest. 99.9% of Kam is the subtlest, the mind. And he is reflecting in everything. Sometimes there is no reflectivity, and sometimes there is reflectivity. He is reflecting in my personality. That is why I feel I am. That amness is a borrowed shine. He is shining in me, in my mind stuff. That's why I feel I am. Actually, it is he is. So he now enumerates how he has created this world. Manaha, pranaha, sarva indriyani. Mana is mind, prana is the energy life sources, sarva indriyani, all your sense organs and your active organs. Come, ether, Vayu, air, Jyoti is fire, Apa is water, Prithvi is earth in another form. Vishwasya Dharini. She holds this whole world on her lap. This is what it is. This is, in general, how the cosmos or the cosmic creation is expressed in our scriptures. Now, for you and me, I go right in the woods, in the forest, away from this maddening crowd. I lie under the sky. I see the moon, I see the stars, at the daytime I see the sun, and sometimes you will see the sun is up and the moon is yet to go down. You see the sun and moon and the whole sky. You imagine this so-called circular dome, known as the sky, is like my skull. That is the skull of Parameshwara. That is the skull. The sun and moon are his eyes. The 4 corners or the 10 corners of the world, 4 corners, 4 other corners, up and down, 10 sides, they are his ears. The sound is the Vedas. It's all imagination. What? You are lying there, you are imagining that Virat Sharira of the divine. I am told he permeates everything. There's no speck of space left where he's not. So let me imagine. That is his head, those are his eyes, those are his ears, that is his faculty of speech, and so on and so forth. And he is all over the world, and I am in him. This is how, in those days, the students were taught to change their attitude. How do they look at their world? Let me read it for you and you will understand. Agnirmurdha chakshushi chandra shuryo disha shrotre bhak vividasya deva veda bhak vividasya veda vayu prana hridayam vishasya hridayam vishwamasya padbham prithvi hi esha sarvabhuta antaratma. Underline that word. Sarvabhuta antaratma hi esha. Hi esha sarvabhuta antaratma. That is the catch. He is the essence of existence in all manifested being. And I see him in a form which encompasses the whole world. And the skull is his head, is the sky. Sun and moon are his eyes. All the 4 sides are his ears. The Vedic literature in totality is on his tongue, capacity to speak. Padbhav, Hridayam Vishwasasya. This antakaram, this capacity to feel, is the Hridaya of this world, which I am now creating. And he is the essence of all existence. This is an attitudinal correction. It is a way you educate yourself. Now leave apart all this. He is the spirit. I sit in a corner of a forest. Look at the sky, look at the hills, look at the valleys, the meadows, the forest, the birds and creatures and everything. I am seeing. I am seeing in all these forms. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Artha, Kriya, Karita. But I know I am focused on his absolute presence. This is the meaning of this shloka. That is how in the modern age you practice it. He has given you the catch. You modernize it a little, dear. But he says you are one with nature as of now. In this shloka, he only speaks of nature and nothing else. Accepting his hridaya is your antakarana. Hridayam Vishwamasya. Your antakarana is with him. You are one at that. You are one with him. This thought will lead you there, though you are far away from him as of now. This is how, dear, we should now go ahead, and it will be a rapid reading for the next 7 shlokas, because this much is very, very, very important. The first shloka, Jatha Sudiptat Pavakat Vishpulinga Sahasrasha Prabhavante Sarupa Tatha Vividha Sobhya Bhava Aksharativa Tadvitti. That's from Aksharat Bhava and something. The second is Dibya Hi Amurta Purusha Sabhajabhyantara Aja Aprana Mana Shubhra Aksharat Parata Para. And the third, Etasma Jayate Mana Prana Sarva Indriyani Cha Kambayu Jyotirapa Prithvi Vishwasya Dharini. And the fourth one is Agnirmurdha Chakshishi Chandra Surjo Dishascho Srecha Bhag Vivitasya Veda Vayu Prana Hridayam Vishwamasya Padbhyam Prithvi He Esha Antaratma. He is the essence of everything. Dears, let us stop here. We'll meet again next time, and we will complete the remaining shlokas in one go. And from the next chapter, Sadhak Bhav will start. How do you re-educate yourself? How do you correct your attitude? How you give a twist to your perspective? How do you modulate your understanding? So from all points of view, you are one with God all the time. And that is the challenging chapter, the last Mundaka. Anyway, thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna